the state of the offensive line? Do you think it's settled down, or is this a time to make possible changes?
I think anytime you have a bye week and you get 6 games in, you obviously assess a lot of different things, and we're in the process of doing that now. So we'll see what transpires through the week and move on accordingly.
Would you say the offensive line has been up and down in these first 6 games, or steady progress? How would you evaluate it?
Well, I think that we've had our ups and downs, and there's some areas of the game that we've had steady progress, if you call it that way. But certainly we need to do more to help our team win, and we just haven't been consistent at times. And certainly the consistency is obvious. And again, we'll look at all the areas that we need to improve and things we're doing well, and obviously enhance those moving forward.
What does Greg Robinson need to do to pick up this game?
I think for every one of them, not only him, I think for everyone, just the heightened awareness, the surroundings, what's going on, within the defensive structure, and seeing things quicker, reaction. I think for the whole entire group, if we can get that going, we're gonna cover up a lot of things.
James, out of necessity, McCray has taken a lot of snaps at tackle in practice and in some games. Is there any thought of making that a full-time conversion?
To make him a tackle only? I think Justin does a really good job of being flexible, and that certainly helps you when you're dressing 7. So again, I'm not going to make any statement or whatever, on a bye week. We'll certainly look at all that stuff, but the one thing that you do know when you have a player like Justin, that he can play 5 spots, and that helps you when you're dressing 7. So I think he's done a relatively decent job at that.
Obviously, there is a lot of questions about right guard, and we talked to you plenty about it. How is Cush done in that job?
He's had a couple of games that he's done really well in one area, pass blocking, and then struggled in run blocking a little bit. And but he's such a competitor, and he's gonna fight for everything, and he certainly is a starting guard for us right now, and just like everyone else. Evaluations go through, and we'll see where we're at the end of the week moving forward. But I have a lot of respect for Eric. He's a guy who really works his tail off and works to be good.
Do you feel like perhaps the offensive line has maybe taken a little bit of undue heat this season, for the offensive woes? Do you think that the offensive line has taken too much heat?
Oh,
for
too
some
much.
Of the offensive?
No, I don't. I think that it's really, playing offensive line, as we know, is just we're kind of right here, But we're a big part of what we do, and it, the expectation, as far as I'm concerned, is the offensive line has to lead. So whatever happens during a game or the course of a week, we tend to put it more on ourselves. So it's not I think that everybody needs to pick up the areas that they need to be, but certainly as linemen, we assume all responsibility, good, bad, or indifferent, and that's just the makeup of a lineman.
Wyatt Teller got in the game because of necessity. Is he fully acclimated to your scheme now, or?
I think so. I think he's getting closer and closer, and we've just had him move into a left and a right-handed stance is different for some, and I think that he's getting more comfortable. But I think his knowledge of what we're teaching here, and from a schematic standpoint, a fundamental standpoint, I think he's starting to catch up.
Is he a guy that gives you flexibility at tackle too, or not?
We've repped him some in practice, and we'll just keep that one to ourselves.
You see now a lot of places are timing protection, how fast the ball comes out, 2.82 seconds, and all that kind of stuff. What's a realistic expectation in your mind for how long you guys need to hold people off?
Well, you're probably, if we're going by a stopwatch, you're asking the wrong person, because I don't believe in stopwatches. I think it's a bunch of hogwash. I think you protect until as long as it takes him to throw the damn ball. End of discussion, period. You block until as much time as he needs to throw the ball. I've always believed that, and I will not stop teaching that.
No doubt you've been involved in tryouts during the course of the season. at your position, right? Tuesdays, whenever.
Tryouts? What do you
When
mean?
you bring guys in and we don't even hear about it. What I'm getting at is you had almost a crisis at tackle for a while because of an injury and ejection, and you only kept 3 natural tackles. I imagine you've had tackles in here, young guys, developmental guys. Are there just not a supply worthy of putting on your practice squad?
You know, that is a whole nother department, brother. I'm being 100% honest with you. I have not participated in one tryout, one workout, in any facet whatsoever, and that's not my department.
When you talk about Greg Robinson, Freddie over the past couple of days has cited the holding call that last drive against the Seahawks, and he, sort of expressed frustration with making having a penalty like that in that crucial situation. Is that a thing where they can call holding on every play if they're looking for it, or is Greg making a mental error there, or how do you address what he did there?
Well, I certainly no one feels worse about than Greg, and it's something that you have to increase your awareness. Don't, penalties and those things. Let's don't put somebody to make a judgment error. That's my feeling is let's don't put ourselves in position even to have something like that come up. And whether it's at the end of the game or at the beginning, it makes no sense. So it's an easy fix. I mean, drop your outside hand and let's go. I mean, but let's don't put them in this position to make penalties or calls on our behalf. Do what we're supposed to do and things will work out.
For a while, it looked like
Yes, ma'am?
Baker was kind of bailing out of the pocket too soon. Is he gaining some trust in that regard?
Oh, I think so. I mean, some of those were, early on were designed, to get him out of there and do some things on the move. But I think it's like anything. You get more comfortable. There's new people in front of you, and it's a second year, and certainly there is a trust factor. Definitely, it's a good question.
Could you evaluate where Austin Corbett is in his progress as an offensive lineman?
He continues to work. He takes a lot of rep at center. He plays guard. He's played some tackle for us in the practice. So he's progressing and moving along and doing well.
He was on an active list this past week. Is he?
He was last couple weeks before that,
Is
though.
he playing so many positions he can't get one down?
No, I wouldn't say that. I think that we're just making sure that we have enough flexibility, that we have enough guys to make sure we're covered if needed to be.
Freddie had talked about the 49ers having the best defensive front heading into that game. What were your main coaching points coming out of it?
In what aspect?
What lessons were there to learn from that? They obviously had a very.
Oh, you mean what did they do?
Baker and what could you guys gain from that experience going against a front like that?
Oh heck, I mean the big thing is when you play against tall people, you can't play high, and that's what happened to us in a lot of the situations as far as pass protection. I mean, they have really tall, athletic people, and you can't get linear with people like that. So that's something that next time that happens, we would expect to improve on that type of a body type people. And those are tall people.
It may be a little early to be, asking about the Patriots, but obviously that's your next game up.
Uh-huh.
I mean, just how well is that defense playing, and what are you guys heading into when you go up to New England?
I haven't even started the study on them yet, and but certainly they're 6-0 and they don't give up a lot of points. So I'm quite certain they're doing some things very, very well, but haven't started the study on them yet.
I know that stats don't always tell the whole story, but coming off the Niners game where Baker was sacked and hit a bunch, and then according to the stat book, he wasn't hit at all against Seattle.
Correct.
Were you guys, as a line, were you guys that much better from one week to the next?
I think we improved fundamentally significantly from that week to this week. And they had very good edge rushers. I mean, Seahawks did. Yeah, and I thought the guys did a better job. And again, we did not get out of our fundamental wheelhouse and get high. I mean, because there's, Clowney and Ziggy, they're tall people too. So, I think they played better than we did in the protection game than the week before.
Have you seen
Last one.
Have you seen Treader improve since your days together at Green Bay, and just what kind of season is he putting together?
I think he's having a very, very good season. He's, his command and what he does at the line, along with everyone else, he keeps everyone kind of in the realm of things. Although everybody has an assignment for line calls from tackle to tackle, they all do share that responsibility. But I think he's done a very good job. I mean, he's playing with more power than he did in the previous, and he does a good job. And he takes care of himself and does things the right way.